はいはいはい、hello hello hello。おはようございます。こんばんは。おやすみ。俺の名前はFumiyoくん。俺は最強妖怪。よろしくお願いします。Hello, my name is Fumiyoくん. I am the best ghost, the only ghost that you need, and it's a pleasure to have you join me again on a Friday poetry stream. Hello. Oh, hi Kaiko. Hi Kaiko. Hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello. Tea sucks. Wow, shade. Quite rude, don't you think? Very rude now. Don't be rude. It's International Tea Day. Come on. Stay where we relax. It's a long week. It's been a long week for everybody, I think. And it's time to drink some tea. It's time to relax, drink some poetry, and all that. Hi, Sarah. Hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, hi, hello. Sure, it's not Wednesday. I am quite sure it's not Wednesday. Oh, you almost scared me. Oh, you little devil. You almost scared me. No, thankfully it's not. It is quite literally Friday. I got scared. Right, so welcome everybody. I'm having a cup of tea. Sorry, it was supposed to start at 3:30 my time instantly, but the problem was the kettle was taking sweet ass time. It didn't want to boil for some reason. Oh, this is good. Oh, so today's tea selection, or this week's tea selection, is going to be Twang's green tea with jasmine, even though it says gunpowder in the middle of it. Don't ask. I think it's explosive flavours. But, regardless, this is very good, and I have it on a cute little mug. Yes, I drink my tea in mugs. I drink way too much of tea. It's ridiculous almost. This one's really cute. This one has a, well, I can't see it, but basically what it does is it's a white cup, and wrapped all over it are just pictures of owls. Like there's a pink owl, a green owl, a blue owl, there's a purple owl, and they all have like little funny hats to them. And also inside of the cup itself, there's a little owl there that sort of like tells you how much water you should be adding, dependent on how much more concentration of the tea you like. It's a very, very, very greatly designed teacup. Or mug to be more specific, but yeah. So yeah, today, as usual, we have the same thing, but for those who are here for the first time, hello, it is Friday, aka the day where people have to relax, the day where people have to stop working hard. Everyone has done a great job working, and I'm very proud of all of you. Thank you very much for working as hard as you have and pushing it through to Friday. You've done a great job. So please, let me entertain you, let me comfort you by having a bit of a blanket wrapped around you, a cup of tea if you would like to join me. And yeah, I'll leave the rest from reading poetry and all that to me. Yo, hi, me, Aaron. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Brian. Hi, 6 and 8 and 10, Brian. Damn it, Brian. Would you let it go? Hi, welcome you too. Welcome, welcome. Hi, hello. Welcome. Welcome to my little cozy room where I just sort of just do my thing. But yeah. So we're just going to be reading poetry. And in the description of this video, if you look down below, there is the story tab. So later on, after I read a couple of poems, maybe 3, 4, if we're feeling a bit frisky, maybe 8. And when that happens, we are going to basically read the story. Story down below is a story I've written and published 5 months ago, and I'm basically going to be reading it. Are notifications working? My notifications are working. My notifications aren't working for the stream, if you're wondering. I don't know why. I still haven't figured it out yet, but yes, it's a thing. But hi, Shadow Queen, hello, welcome to the stream, hello. Trace Winkle, hello, welcome. I prefer coffee, to be honest. I like coffee as well, but coffee with tea, sorry, not coffee with tea, but coffee with books never really, sits right with me. It never does, for some reason. Tea is a perfect thing to relax you, because coffee, I feel like the caffeine in it will just make me go up and down, so it's an issue. Hello, Zikos. Welcome to the stream. Howdy, partner. Howdy there, partner. Sorry, I'm drinking a cup of tea. I'm enjoying this way too much. I should probably get to the poetry. I should really get to it. By the way, shout This is advertising for you, just saying. Oh, thank you, Shades. Oh, you're so kind. Yeah, I've realized a lot of people have been retweeting and apparently telling people more about Poetry Day, which is really nice of all of you. Really, thank you from the bottom of my heart for anyone who ever is doing that. Thank you very much. It means a lot to me. Thank you. But I hope you enjoy your stay, though. Please only stay here and subscribe if you do enjoy what you're seeing. That makes it sound like I'm naked. Sorry. Anyway, let's get down to our lovely little poetry sessions. So, of the poems that we have for today's lineup, written these yesterday. I always write these last minute, I do realise. Do the voice thing. What voice thing? Wait, what voice thing? Come on, voice thing? What do you mean? Doctor's advice, ignore coffee for a month and drink it for 3 days every 3 weeks. What? Okay. That's a weird advice. Let's see, let me scroll through my poems. I think this would be a lovely little thing to start with. Right, so we'll start with something, for some reason, just labelled beauty. I don't know exactly what it was about. I wrote this when I was tired. I never write these when I'm, like, fully awake. So do excuse that. Anyway, let's start off with something, at least. There are those who attempt to find beauty, those who dedicate their lives into its absurdity, assuming that one can only find it through normal means, searching far and wide in the corners and in-betweens. With their photography, they take pictures of the yellows and greens, statues of grandeur and artistically symmetrical figurines, yet their sense of being intervenes. A question is posed: do I see what they want me to see? Subjective as comedy, yet thought-provoking like poetry, beauty is not a quality measured by numeric dials. Beauty is not a list of traits and attributes noted down on files. For there is beauty in our little white lies, how innocent and harmful they can be. How they will never ruin the world that you have for me, though with thought in mind, I feel an urge within you to ask a question in mind. Of all the beauties in the world, what do you find attractive? I find the light escaping the curtains at 5:39 a.m. to be addictive. The way my blue covers contrast the orange of the sun, acting like a tint, the blue changes the color of the sun. The lightless interior of my room, rendering the window dominant, I find that scenery providing me with such content. So, that's the end of our first poem. Not the finest of things. I remember it was 5:39 a.m. in the morning for this one. And I sort of just sat down. I was looking at my window. And there's something weird about windows. Can I just say that? Windows early in the morning, especially early in the morning, when you have all the lights turned off in your room and there's just a tad bit of light coming out of your window, it looks beautiful for some reason. It's relaxing to me. It's very relaxing. And I have a thing where after my alarm, which by the way my alarm clock is the neon cat. Neon cat, is that what it's called? The cat, the really annoying cat. I put on some Frank Sinatra as well, which basically results in a very annoying way of waking up and then a pleasant way of waking up after. So it's quite nice in a way. But it really is interesting though how it's very comforting early in the morning, 5 a.m, 6 a.m, those times in between those. They're really gentle and soft, and I really like those sounds. So I wrote that in remembrance of that. I should have probably highlighted and detailed it a bit more, but I was tired. My window is too big, so light kind of just blasts me in the face in the morning. You know, it blasts you, you know. I think that's the same thing if the window is just, you know, a bit too close to you. But, as he crows, trying to look at your window at 5 a.m. or 4 a.m. in the morning, anytime where the sun doesn't really rise too much, it doesn't blast your face. It kind of sort of just subtly touches you. A gentle little brush, a little bruising, might I say. Sorry. Our next poem of the day. I don't know what the hell this one is. I remember. This was not written well. Oh God, I'm gonna write this better next time. But hey, shall we? I'm a devout follower of this castle. I've been told to landscape it with passion, not facile. Yet never in my years have I felt this much hassle. For what started as a small maintenance check turned into a newly found lump in my neck. The urge to continuously paint with no regards to my mouth, regardless of the winds and the heat of the south. Some days I must hurry, for the paint will dry too quickly. Some other days I must slow down, or the paint will mix immaturely. Like a madman, I've done the same strokes over and over again, wondering if one of these paintings will be the one to win me over. But as picky as I always have been, this perfection became an obsession. Funny how the longer you stare at something, newer things pop out of nothing. Shades of grey and blue became what seems like the yellow of fondue. And yeah, that's that. I feel like I should have continued it and described more of like how the infrastructure of a castle, what seemed to be blockaded and square, turns into something weird for us to stare. Like, you know, it's weird because when you look at something too much, I remember reading about this at one point. I've never done it before, more or less out of fear. Not really out of fear, out of I don't have time. But apparently, do this if you'd like, but I don't recommend it. There was a Stanford paper, or was it some other different paper? What it tells you is, if you stare into yourself for far too long, what ends up happening is that you start to see yourself in a very different way. You don't really see yourself as the way that you should have. It terrifies you. Hi, Yoshina. Hello, welcome. I hope you enjoy your stay. With reading poetry, with a cup of tea, International Tea Day. Oh, tea's getting warm, lukewarm. That's not good. Oh, I think I put the water a bit too hot. Hello, stars. Hello, stars. Too many stars. Supernovas. Some might say, I don't know what other things. No, cup tea. Hello, tea, I'm drinking you. That sounds very wrong. Sorry. I don't like tea when it's like lukewarm. I like tea when it's, well, not really when it's piping hot either. A little bit just there. Butterfly pea tea. I've never had that cup of tea before. I'm going to put that down on my list. I really need to, because there's a place. It used to be near me, but it closed off. It's basically how can I describe this? It's like a designer tea. I think designer tea is, for lack of a better word, it is. What it is, it's a little shop that has massive boxes behind the man who's selling things. What he has is like, he has little boxes in it and it's labelled. And what they are is that they're blends. It's like tropical blends or like specific scents and aroma. So for those who don't know, flavour, in essence, when you eat something or drink something, is 80% aroma and 20%, flavour, which means that the smell of food matters quite a bit to how it appeals to you. Of course, the aesthetical looks of it. If it looks aesthetically pleasing to you, then there you go. Colour Shanjeri? So he goes colour Shanjeri. What? It's like a lemonade and it's pretty. It's really pretty. Oh, I'll try that. As I will say, if it's a bit sweet, I might not like it. I don't like things that are too sweet. I don't know why, but for some reason, when I grew older, tea or anything that is sweet is just generally not really my thing. But I do enjoy me quite a bit of, a little bit, just a tad bit of sweet teas. Sweet teas are a little bit of my guilty pleasure. Right. We're moving on. Onwards. We have this. Wait, this? Oh, I remember this. I was in the middle of writing this, I think. But then I just died while I was writing this. I think I looked at this and I said, wow, I am writing this currently. I need to poo. So I thought, not. You can choose how much honey you put in. Ooh, I'm going to ask you for that one later after stream then. Because for me, what kind of honey though? Black Forest honey are we talking? Black Forest honey is really good. But sometimes a bit too much. or pomegranate syrup or pomegranate honey, as they call it. It's really good as well. Next poem, shall we? These are short ones, so I'm going to read two of them instead of one. So this is the first short one. There are times where I feel like I'm projecting out of my body. That breath, so heavy and warm, is what I embody. It escapes the limited confines of its mortal shell. The fresh breeze of the cold atmosphere makes me want to make do with my farewell. Why leave such a soul bedridden, with the privilege of the living kept forbidden? Too short, eh? I wanted it to be longer, honestly I did, but I sort of lost trail of of what I was going with it. I kind of think I knew where I was. I think I was more or less trying to talk about how, like, there's this person who's bedridden in the hospital, and they would rather project their bodies out rather than stay within their hospital confined bed. And I think that was my trail of thought, but I was going somewhere with it, but I've lost it. It was just there. And I'll tell you why I lost it. Because last night, I was with a couple of friends in a Discord server, and what ended up happening is that I was like talking about how you can download applications on your phone, like pianos, marimbas, and all that. And I was looking through the instruments in the App Store, and I found myself something called the kalimba. So the kalimba, it's an instrument. It's a very adorable looking instrument. Can I just say that? And I kept playing around with it a little too much, and I seem to have gotten too engrossed in it that I forgot that I had to write poetry for today. But don't worry, I have some backup poetry that I wrote prior to today, just in case I need some. But I'll show you what this is, so mind me as I lower down the poetry music. Okay, there you go. And now you will hear the kalimba through my phone. I'm gonna pull up the volume. I'm gonna play a little bit because I don't want to play too much of it and just go on out. So this is what it is. Ooh, hold on. Oh, hi Ryozun, welcome. You shall receive what you came here for. Sorry, I was I was playing with the kalimba. I shown chat the kalimba, which is an instrument on your phone. Yeah, it's quite nice. To be fair, I've always wanted to get one of those. Yeah, I've also wanted to, but I couldn't find a physical version of it. But they look so nice, and they sound so nice. Sounds so nice. But let's get to our poem. This one, for some reason, I'm going to scout through my old poems. How about that? We might find something very interesting. We might. So I'm going to stop in 3, 2, 1. Ha. Oh God. Okay. All right. I guess I'm reading this. I guess I am. It's not a poem. Oh, sorry. It's not a poem. It's a script. So for those who don't know, I think everybody knows at this point, but for those who are new, I used to do voice commissions, aka I used to do, just, you could hire me to do voices for you. Back in the day, I stopped doing that. And here's a script attached to it, the note, which was, I needed to make like a voice note or clip where I am waking up this person. Apparently. Hello, Seika. Hello. Hi. Welcome to the stream. Hi. Hello, Seika. Welcome. Subbed. Damn, your voice is low-key chill. I love it. Oh, thank you. Oh, you're so kind. You're being too kind. Thank you. I'm glad to have you here. I hope you enjoy your stay. I love the song you did. Oh, thank you. Why you used to? Oh, why? I've gotten okay, I've gotten a bit too overwhelmed with it, and I was like really into it too much, and school got in the way, so I sort of stopped doing voices. But this is a script, and no, Renzi, naughty. This is not anything naughty at all. This is something very normal. This is just a normal script, okay? No naughty thoughts. Bad. Okay, this just simply started this morning. So let's read it together. How about this will be our last quote unquote poem before we start our story time. So let's go. Good morning. The sun is shining. It's bright. It's a bit too bright. Blinding almost. Open your eyes and carefully go on. Don't be afraid. You might be overwhelmed by what you see in front of you though. What are you doing laying in bed, eh? Get up and look at the window. Come on, eh? Look, oh, it's a lovely view. We all wake up to a different window every single day. We wake up with cars and pedestrians walking, crowding the streets, all trying to get to their destination, all desperately trying to work and be productive, to do something with their lives in a world that continues to exist well after they are gone. This idea, this sight, even might give you anxiety. In fact, being surrounded by people who work a lot, by people who do a lot, can, well, suffocate you as much as it can inspire you. When the whole world in front of you is awake, some already dressed at 5 a.m., some already half an hour away from their desk job, and some already have started working. With all this in mind, it makes you want to do something, not out of desire, but out of fear. Fear that you are wasting your finite time, fear that you could have done something so much more. So you look at the clock. Perhaps you woke up early. If that's the case, get yourself a cup of coffee. Have some nourishment such as toast. Maybe avocado toast seems to be one of all those crazes today. So maybe have a little bit of that. And if and when you do finish feeding yourself, you've basically successfully spent time taking care of yourself. Good job. You did something productive. I'm proud of you. And yes, taking care of yourself and your body needs, be it due to hunger or hygienic purposes, is and will always be a productive task. It is such a routine procedure that we neglect it as the ordinary, but that ordinary is still productive. Now that you've eaten, you've decided to start brushing your teeth. If you were to brush your teeth first and eat, then you're a moron. Who does that? Of course no one does. That's just ridiculous. Of course you would. But that's what makes you adorable to me. You're a naive human being who has no concept of order and maybe a little bit too adorable. You brush your teeth, spending each minute on each side, then you look at yourself. Stop for a moment. Look at yourself, will you? Can you smile for me? I like it a lot when you smile. It makes me happy. Maybe a little bit too happy. Though you like knowing that, don't you? You look beautiful when you smile. No, really, you do. Whatever it is that you're doing, whenever you smile, just keep doing that, okay? You just look your best. I'm jealous that I couldn't get to see that smile every single day of my life, but hey, whatever moments I have with you, I'll enjoy them as such. Well, whatever it is, as we are. Hey, are you listening to me? If you are, then say us out loud. Did you do that? You shouldn't have. Well, just wanted the whole world to hear your sweet voice. Oh, how I'd kill to hear it every single day. You look over at your watch and it's time for you to leave. Some days you'll probably leave early. Some days you'll probably be late. But don't feel bad about it, because you took all the necessary steps to be prepared for today. Scared? Are you scared, man? Are you? I hope you replied to that question out loud. Don't be scared. I'm right here with you. Just listen to my voice. Everything will be alright, and I promise that I'll always be there when you need me. Have a good day, alright? Bye. I thought you said this wasn't going to be spicy. It wasn't spicy, it was just wholesome, or kind, perhaps. I remember this one. The person who commissioned this was a student. Actually, she was in my class, I think. Was she? Hold on, I'm trying to remember. But I remember this commission specifically because this person who commissioned it, they were saying how it's hard for them to wake up in the morning because they feel like they haven't done much. And I wrote this little thing for them. I hope they liked it, and I hope they still listen to it and they feel better. I do worry sometimes for them. This was a little much. My heart can't fit this much emotion. Oh, what sort of emotion can this be, eh? What sort of emotion? I don't think I've instilled any emotion. I'm not gay, but let me have your baby. Oh, Brian. Oh, you little cutie. I'm literally trying to wake up right now and failing. So, get comfy, get cozy. If there's nothing you have to do today, just relax. Come on in. It's Friday. It's been a tough week for everyone, I think. Even if it wasn't a tough week, it's still a tiring week to some extent. Like I said, relax. Let me take care of the rest, okay? I want every one of you to relax to be safe, to just enjoy their time, okay? No one's allowed to think about work. No one's allowed to think that they're running out of time. Please relax. Which now leads us to our next segment. If you mind, I would like to blow my nose. Sorry about that. I have a bit of a runny nose because I woke up just about like 20 minutes ago. So my runny nose is sort of just getting there. That's how you know I just wake up, when I have a runny nose. Really, really weird way of saying it. Too late, I'm at work. Oh yeah, you're at work. Well, have a good day at work. You know, just be safe. Be safe, eh? So, our next segment. Our next lovely segment. Fuck, I'm late. I'm sorry, Dad. Did you do the viewer submissions yet? No, I actually haven't. I was waiting for you to pop up, and I was going to say I'm going to cut in the middle of my storytelling if you came along. So, yes, I am going to do some viewer submissions. So, for those who are unaware, last week I've started a little thing that you can participate in, which is basically viewer submissions. You can submit your own poems that I'll gladly read on stream. I would like to, poke at everyone's creativity and want them to get those juices running. Express yourself, get yourself running. And also, I just like looking at people's writing styles. It's really mesmerizing to me how so many people can have different writing styles, even though they talk about the same thing. I might be weird about that, I might be stupid about that, but it's good. So, viewer submissions. I just have to find where that viewer submission is, because I forgot to make a tab in the server. I need to make a tab in the server for this one, or else I am going to fail remarkably. So we are going to try to find it, and if we don't, that's going to be an issue. So, protagonist, if you don't mind, would you mind giving me the thing? Fumiyo, it's in the quote section. Scroll up a bit. Oh, thank you. Where shall we submit? Oh, you can submit in two ways. You can submit in my server. There is a section that I'll be adding, hopefully soon, if I remember. Or you can also use my poem tag on Twitter, #FumiyoPoem. I think that's what I called it. I think that's what it's called. So, viewer submissions. I'm excited. I'm really excited. I've been looking forward. I haven't touched it. Yet because I wanted to react to it live. Okay, so quotes. Did someone move the quotes channel? Huh? Here we go, found it. Alright. Here we are. I found it. So, this is a poem submitted by our lovely your local anime protagonist on May 14th, 2021. And let's enjoy it together, shall we? Okay. Sanity and insanity, is that a butter thread of silk? And I tight the rope walker on the thread, it is strong but thin. One little gust and over the edge you go, down, down, down into the dark free fall of insanity, with the sharp wind whizzing by your ears and the onlookers of horror, and then just as you go, splat. You see it, this safety net, it's almost there if you can just reach it. You'll be safe, but you in fact did not reach it. You indeed went splat into the ground, and your only regret is if only I jumped 5 feet to the left. So, here we go. So a lovely little poem, and that's that's that. That was quite nice. That's quite nice though. Like, is it we talk about the tightroper? Because when I was imagining this, I was imagining like a tightroper who's like going on top of a building from like one section to another, and kind of like roping around, trying his best to avoid anything. But the problem is he didn't jump properly, which caused a little bit of an accident. I like that. You made it sound so great. Oh, it was your writing. It was good. I didn't do anything. I just tried my best to read it as best as I can. But you're too kind. Thank you. That's fun. Oh, that'd be great if we can get more of these submissions. Well, maybe one day. Maybe one day. Yes, that is at the end of our viewer submissions, I think. Gotta hop back to actually working, but I'll put you in the background. Have a lovely stream. Thank you, Zikos. Have a lovely day at work. Remember to stay hydrated, okay? Be safe. Bye-bye. Okay. Yes, a big inspiration was the Twin Tower Walkers, but it was also sort of based off of mental stability. Ooh, I like that. I like that. I like that. Oh, if my mental juices are going to be running late, I might write something about that too, but just sort of in a different way. Who knows? Maybe. But thank you. That was a great submission. Thank you. That is the end of our segment for today. And now we're moving to what I consider the relaxation period. It's where people should not touch chat. You're not allowed to touch chat. You are allowed to only look at your phone or your laptop, or if you would like, lay in your bed with your headphones on and just close your eyes. This is by relaxation period. So, again, just to repeat, in the description of this video right now, the top part, there is a story thing. Go to that Google Drive and download it or view it. That is about 4 chapters of the book. I'll be reading it for you. You can choose to read it alongside me. I will be reading it then. Or you can also choose to read at your own time later if you would like. Or if you would like just to turn everything off and just listen to me reading it. Regardless, whatever suits your comfort most, please do it. Please get comfortable and don't be shy about what it makes you comfortable. Okay, I'll listen. I'll keep my grubby hands off the chat. Yes, please, relax. Told you, right? Friday relaxation. No one's allowed to do anything. Right. So, shall we head to our thing? I have to download the thing myself because... Oh, no, no, I don't. I already have the thing, but it's a full book. So we start chapter 9, right? We left off at chapter 9. Chapter 9. Good God. Here we are. Chapter 9. No, okay, yeah, chapter 9. No, sorry. Chapter 4? We're in chapter 4? Yeah, we're in chapter 4. Chapter 9. Sorry, I can't read. Bro. We're in chapter 9. Sorry, it's in the description. There you go. Alright. Let me just get in a seating position. Alright. Are you all ready? I hope we are. Alright. Don't type anything. You don't have to. Sit tight. Alright? Let me take care of you. Right. Chapter number 9. Familiarize. A boy not taller than 2 meters sits on a queen-size bed, dangling his feet, waiting for someone to come through the door. His eyes looked up at the wooden ceiling, admiring its construction of pillars. To this boy, everything in this room was fascinating. These were all his firsts in terms of sensations. The smoothness and sensitivity of his skin allows him to feel everything more directly than anyone else in this world. Even when calluses and labor built up a layer of his fingertips, he will remain just as invested. There are no lights brighter than the candles in the middle of the room, no sound louder than the sound of his own words as he tries to vocalize the words he heard while he was being escorted into his room. Almost as if this room was made just for him. He was most comfortable here as well as curious. Getting off of the bed, he carefully moves around, not due to fear, but rather due to his need to feel every inch of the wooden floor underneath his feet, to feel the craftsmanship or lack thereof it. The air brushing against his skin as he moves penetrates the pores of his skin, allowing him to feel the lightness in the air coursing through every crevice the human body never felt as well chiseled until now. Slowly attempting more and more complex compound movements, the boy starts to get the hang of the limitations and potential the body he owns has. Continuing his skirmish, his interest was then taken by a shelf of books, 3 rows containing only 12 on the first row. Placing his fingers on the cover of said books, he moves them while attempting to read what was written on their spine. Quickly growing impatient at his inability to read, he tries to find something else within the shelf he could resonate with. Taking his eyes off the words, he notices a small glass bubble below the last letter of every book title, containing a singular petal. They arranged in color and design. Some of them were identical, while others were varied. White petals, green ones, and yellow ones, they all looked lively and saturated. They maintained their shape and color quite well. The boy feels the door behind him, to the left, open gently, snapping his interest from the petals to the maker of the sound, be it an object or a person. At the forefront of the door, a man stands with a knife in his hand, swinging it around, pointing at it and motioning what he will do with it. The man proceeds to move towards the boy. Clueless to what is this about to happen, the boy approaches the man faster than he could react. Thinking that the boy was attacking him, the man quickly reacted. He places the back of his arm on the neck of the boy, sliding the boy off of his own 2 feet by kicking both of his legs off of the ground, firmly planting his foot onto the boy's head. The boy experiences his first interaction with discomfort. Applying more pressure to his foot, the man asked, "Are they all hostile, or are you just unaware of what you just did?" Pushing his weight down more, the man demands to be answered, feeling as if his words fell on deaf ears. He asks again, his entire body weight into the boy's head. "Are you going to be an enemy? Or are you just going to be an ally?" he said, rubbing the soles of his shoes onto the boy's head in a left-to-right motion. From behind the man, a gentle yet old man's voice could be heard. "Blind isekai boy is strong. Get off your grubby hands off a chat." I don't think so. No, I mean, it's not isekai. But hey, let's continue.
"Kai Crawford, if it is unnecessary, then please refrain from it,"
said an old voice. Kai lifts his foot off of the boy.
"I'm just having a boy for the test run,"
said Kai, as he begins to walk to the old man's side. The boy, still in the position that he was left in, looks towards the men at the door, confused to who they are and what he should do next.
"Are you capable of standing, my boy? Or have you not learned that motion yet?"
said the old man with concern. The boy attempts to stand on his own 2 feet by lifting himself up with his chest without the support of his arms or feet. As one could imagine, that didn't really end very well, only ended in many attempts, failed ones. Kai, with large steps, closes in the distance, picking up the boy back to his own 2 feet. With some effort, the boy managed to stand up straight without failing off to his side. Oh, that voice is Australian. And then we have Bang from MC. Kai,
"Right, this is the one and only time I'll do this for you, boy,"
Kai said. The boy tilts his head to the side, muttering the words "boy" as best as he can. The word did not resemble the original word when it came out of his mouth. Missing letters, incoherent pronunciations, or giving up on pronouncing it altogether.
"Speech and movement are still underdeveloped,"
said Kai. "Oh, excuse me?"
"Yes, I can clearly see that. Not to blame him, because it has only been 2 hours since his birth,"
said the old man.
"If you can't do the basics, I highly doubt this one will be of any use,"
said Kai.
"We have not determined a strand yet. Let's not get too rash. Besides, is that why you carried a knife into the room?"
said the old man.
"Checking for his response to fear and pain,"
he said, as he showed off his knife to the old man.
"Fear and pain are the best and least of our worries when it comes to the children of the first sinner. Knives are only to be used once for compatibility purposes,"
said the old man. I'm not going to do voices, this is going to be hard. The old man reaches out his hand, signaling for the boy to come his way. The boy, with no hesitation, moves forward. "Now that you place your wrist onto the palm of my hand, do you know how to do that?" asked the old man. The boy stares at the old man's palm, wondering as to what those words meant. Impatient, Kai took the command of the boy's arm, placing his wrist onto the old man's palm. "You're welcome," said Kai. The old man gives Kai a side stare as he continues with his deeds. With a far smaller knife resembling that of a scalp is taken out of the old man's pocket, he began to place the tip of it at the bottom of the boy's palm. A finger at the back of the scalp, applying as much force as to penetrate but not touch any important veins. The old man drives it down until the wound was deep enough to leak out. Not for very long, 7 petals sprung out of the wound and into the air. The old man lets go of the boy's wrists, providing a landing strip for the petals with his palm. Moving it closer to the petals, he caught 3 petals in total. He started to inspect them, turning them over, smelling them, and tearing them apart. Pinkish white petals with vein-like structures in red. At the very top of each of the petals are smaller green petal-like extensions. The old man moves his hands towards Kai. "What do you make of this?" he asked. At first glance, Kai identified the strand these petals belonged to. Belworth, he said. The old man looks over to the shelf, trying to find a book with the same petals as the ones in his hand. No, there will be no match for him, Kai said. Is that unusual? The old man asked. No, this is progress. As far as I know, the more different the petals are, the better, Kai said. Don't we have a small sample size to work with either way, said the old man. We will work with what we have, said Kai. Kai looks at the boy, only to see that the wound on the boy's wrist has been mended by the flower petals that came out of his wound. The flowers slowly dissolve, leaving no trace of their existence, cleaning his wound as if nothing has ever happened. His body is stable enough for that, but not for comprehension. He then continues, For now, we'll stay here in this room until he finishes the calibration process. Once done, he can step out to the world as much as he likes, and marching forth to the shelf, he picks up a book with an empty glass bubble at the bottom. Kai hands it to the boy, then continues his prior sentence with a deep and serious tone. Kai said, Sorry. Kai said the following. Once you are done reading this and memorize all of it, then we will let you go. You are not allowed to trust anyone except us, especially people saying that they will save you, okay? Said Kai. But the boy shows no signs of understanding him. To the boy, these words sound no different than pitches and paste winds. They sounded pleasant to his ears, but he couldn't understand them. The two men leave the room, leaving the boy to his own devices. The door shut and locked behind them. There could only be a handful of things that the boy could do in this confined place. Startled by the sound of the book he was given falling off of his hands, the boy continues to explore the room he was in. What in the isekai is this blood turns to petals and paint from? Maybe you'll find out. I'll explain maybe in the end. To the boy, this room is his world. He can't comprehend what is outside of it, let alone what is beyond it. Curiosity fueled his every action, and seeing a ray of light out the window, he wonders how are rays of light made and what are they? He could not put those thoughts into words, let alone ask anyone about it. Everyone is a stranger to him, and as far as he is concerned, he is the only one of his kind. The idea of why such a thing has happened interested him even further. However, obtaining said information about any of those topics were rather bleak. Nevertheless, the natural traits of who he is took over, and as if it was second nature to him, he began to read the books he was given, understanding nothing at first, but slowly the words made sense to him. The patterns of why certain words were in the order that they were in gave him an idea of what the grammatical structure of the language was. Though he showed promise and proficiency in learning, he had nothing to compare it to. That did not stop him. His limited perception and knowledge gave him a reason to push forth and learn more about what he does not know about. And that is the end of that chapter. God, I'm for some reason struggling to read today. I don't know why. Oh, that was a thing. God, I have at least gotten better at reading. Sorry, not reading, writing through that time. But I do have to say, this is a very great chapter. It has a lot of well-placed descriptors. Yeah, apparently throughout the book I start describing things more in an annoying way, perhaps. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I'm gonna give a swig of water, if you don't mind. Here we are. Chapter number 10. This world of ours. How much of you is real? What part of you is real? If all was said and done, if all ideas were entertained to an extent where all originality is nothing but an illusion of comfort, or the lack of knowledge that said invention or idea pre-existed yours, what is it about you that makes you the vessel with a name? Is it the unique combination of traits, the almost decimal range of sensitivity spread out across a large complicated metric of measurement? Are your experiences unique to you? Who gave you the justification to be you, the right to be you? Moreover, what will you do if there was someone else that was you? We all long to belong, but to belong is to be similar, and to be similar is to give up the principle of uniqueness, therefore absolving you of every right to be different. You are just another gear moving the cogs, and so are the people before you. No trademark, copyright, or certificate of proof, nothing of physical form can show them that you are you.
At any time now, at any day, one can be you. Through countless imitations, makeup, and even as far as plastic surgery, everyone is easily replaced if planned out thoroughly and done patiently. It is within the nature of the human race to not notice molecular change. We never notice that our friend is 1 inch too tall or the table is 10 centimeters off from its original point of origin. What stops a madman from replacing you, slowly conforming you into a world of bizarre proportions? This carelessness, this ignorance of the unknown, is merely just another quirk of reality that is none of your business. The need of comfort in a sea of questions that rise as glaciers of curiosity melt the past away. How much of it will you carry along with you in this ideals of today? Why do you fear the unknown? Why do you feel unease? Let the cold sweat run through. Let that heart beat faster than it ever did before. Question nothing. Experience everything. Find beauty in the madness of a man who has lost touch with what it means to be sane, not out of demise but out of curiosity. Funny, don't you think? How many barriers of thought stand before you? You were taught to only believe what you see, but how can you see something you refuse to see? The strong winds as they brush your ears from words of which you ignore, a language other than your own, but you choose to ignore it. You chose not to believe it. If ever a night comes as windy as the days where even cats hide, pay your ears and listen to the whisper, and you might just hear someone calling, someone whispering to you. And it does the thing the books aim to be a basis for your imagination. Yeah, it's just a basis for my imagination. This was not what I was expecting on tea day, especially not this early in the morning. Introspection fills me with more emotion. I seem to have rattled quite a bit of emotions for everyone today. I do apologize. I hope it's not too much emotions to handle. If it gets a bit uncomfortable, please, by all means, you can tune me out. Just get comfortable, alright? I want everyone to be safe. Be safe, all of you, okay? Alright. Teacup, I agree. This is making my pants a bit too wet. Oh, don't be lewd on Poetry Day. Be lewd on any other day, not Poetry Day. Excited for more parts. Well, we're heading to chapter number 11. Here we are. Let me just move my feet, put it round. My pants may be wet for different reasons. Good grief, you two. Alright. So, shall we? Chapter number 11. Unfamiliar. The boy's body kicks into motion, jump-starting his own body back to the waking world. He thought to himself, was that a dream? Who was that? The boy has been obedient for the past 7 months. He's been reading the books allowed to him by Kai, while partaking in daily exercise in both movement, cognitive thinking, and acting. Yet far off of the desired state is the boy. What he prepares for is what he lacks in the unknown, applying only the sense of the characters, not of the situation. Fascinated by the people in the books he reads, he imitates them in speech and behavior, therefore heightening his senses of acting, both making him aware of his facial expressions and his limited scope of emotions he can portray on command. Within that time frame, the boy has amassed a large sum of books, all read by him, not once, not twice, sometimes even thrice. A room with books stacked on top of each other, sitting on the floor like skyscrapers along a busy city. The speed at which he is going is driving Kai mad, needing to deliver more books and keeping him busy with no breaks, not even for the weekends. With a lot of knowledge stored within his head, there is a sizable number of tests needed to be conducted and marked off before confirming that he has indeed learned what he is needed. His books were of many sizes and shapes. Some were made of leather, some were just paper, others were scrolls as long as his room, while others were just simple pieces of paper. The boy adored his little collection of books, almost comparing his favorites with the old man at the end of the day, detailing how much each spine should be made, addressing they needed more or less embroidery, needed more smooth texturing and repositioning of certain letters to further illustrate the feeling that the book is going for. The spines were all different and were recognizable from afar, all by touch. The only noticeable similarity they had were the glass-bubbled books. They were not the same as the ones in the shelf. These had no petals in them, and were usually white leather compared to the black leather bounded ones. When the boy finds something he adores, be it in the book or the events that have transpired in it, he would come to the old man to discuss it and share it with him. The old man would just nod, understanding nothing to what is being said to him. Slowly but surely, the constant motion produced of a comforting act would driving the old man to sleep, causing the boy to stop for the day. Today, on the other hand, was different. Today was the boy's first day out from his room and into the world beyond the theatre. Anxious would be an understatement in his opinion. He barely had any sleep. He was excited and ready to march into what was behind his door. Fear was not the cause of this. He too can tell it wasn't. It was this notion in his head that he has been there before, feeling this might lead him into a road he dares not to cross. Luckily for him, he is not to be left alone. He will be accompanied by Kai on his journey. Excited, awaiting with his lack of sleep, he keeps adjusting his clothes and puffing out his collar so much that the stitch seems to be failing him at maintaining its composition. At the doorstep, he stood there like a soldier, ready to be deployed into the battlefield. The door opens as he is greeted by the smell of potent alcohol. Kai, startled by the sight of the boy, could not open the door completely. "I don't know whether you were excited to leave or excited to escape," said Kai. "Don't be silly, Kai. Why would I do such a thing?" said the boy. "Why wouldn't you? You have no obligation to stay within this room except the security of warmth and shelter," Kai said. "Shelter and warmth can be found out there too," the boy replied jokingly. "Right," Kai said as he pulls a wooden chair from the table. He then continues. Yes, I did say theatre. Due to your obsession of reading, I have no more books to give you, but rather than being annoyed by you every single day until I turn my house upside down over to find a book to entertain a silly boy such as yourself. Reaching deep into his pockets, he pulls out a bag made out of cloth and places it onto the table. The boy looks at it only to be drawn to it closer. His vision was blocked by Kai's hand. Rather than scolding him for attempting to do something without his permission, Kai heeds the boy a warning. That bag contains what we call an insight seal token. Don't let its whispers tempt you into opening it. Once it opens, whatever it is inside of it will be known to you, Kai said. "What are we doing with such a thing?" said the boy. "We are going to trade it off for books." "A pass for as many books as you can remember," said Kai. The bag certainly gave off a certainty to its aura, as if it almost whispered to you, begging for you to unfold what is within it, like a person obsessed with gossip keen on telling you the latest rumors. Is this the currency of Arusa? No. In this bag is a singular token. Inside of that token, sealed away, is knowledge forbidden to man. Only those blessed or powerful enough may transcribe it onto paper, Kai said. "What happens if you aren't any of that?" said the boy. "Asking too many questions now, are you? Do I look like a book to you?" said Kai. "But you do know, don't you?" the boy persists. Eat a bit of water. Kai sighs heavily before checking the corners of the room, then the door behind them. He leans in closer to the boy and whispers, "Don't tell the old man about this, okay?" The boy nods in agreement. Those whom consume the great knowledge of the gods will revert into their most basic instinct. They will see for themselves who they truly are. Some turn into beasts, while some lucky enough turn into madmen, he said before backing away from the boy. Curious for more, the boy tries to ask, but Kai placed his entire palm onto the boy's mouth, preventing him from asking and or continuing the conversation. "Have you picked out a name for yourself today, boy?" "Yes, but isn't that name going to be used outside the context of today?" "Well, yes, it took you so long to pick one out, but the old man and I made a bet that you would pick one out, a temporary one for today." "What purpose would a temporary name hold rather than a permanent one?" said the boy. "You might prefer a different one after combining or combing through many more books," said Kai. During the third month of his stay, the two guardians told him to choose a new name for himself. He had difficulties doing so, as he had many names to choose from. The names of a person holds value. It's like a promise, and it was his first important decision. He fancied the name Lucas, but quickly moved away from it and he didn't fall in love with the name Dialog. That is a proposition I would like to entertain, but nonetheless, the excitement of a newly found knowledge propels me to discard such ceremonies. I am from this day on to be called Mallory, said the boy, puffing his chest. He was quite proud of that name. Kai lets out a chuckle upon hearing the name. A girl's name for a boy like you, said Kai. 'Tis not a girl's name, it is a name for both, said Mallory. Unknown to Kai, it was not the sheer excitement of today that got him his limited sleep. It was his determination to find a name he liked. Whatever tickles your fancy, I suppose, said Kai. Kai got up from the seat, adjusting his coat as he moves closer to the door. He looked back at Mallory, signaling him with a flick of his head that it's time to go. Mallory rushed towards Kai, anxiously wondering what is there for the world outside this wooden room. As they walked out of the room and in through the back entrance of the stage, Mallory could not hold his amazement. Curtains of red velvet material, light and resonant wood used as flooring, polished until it was reflective as a mirror can be. The footing felt airy and bouncy. The people of different races move, perform, dance and sing to their heart's content without a worry in the world from whoever dares to look at them. Actors practicing their lines, each of them repeating it with a different tone or using a higher register than before to incite an emotion otherwise impossible to portray using darker tones. Art limited not only to those who can act through words, but available also to those who can move, as Mallory attempts to move in the same grace as the dancers that occupied the outermost entrance of the stage. A group of women, dressed in a ballerina's outfit, twist and twirl, practicing their pirouettes in tandem. With their partners, they moved with elegance of grace. They were the main attraction to some people, and they very well deserved that title. Oh, let me move the microphone. Sorry. And here we are. On the sides of their heads were white feathers, wings curved to cover the sides of their head, with some of the feathers reaching outwards. Their makeup was fairly simple, with a touch of blush, mascara, and eyeliner. Used as muses, they attracted many of the patriots of the stage that Mallory loved. The old man spoke of how essential it is to put on a beautiful and brave performance out at front, to attract potential actors or audience members to the theatre. Though they have no need for more actors, the director welcomes any and all. To the old man, entertainment was and will always be the reason as to why he lives. As one of the ballerinas notices the boy admiring her, she is slender to the word, yet toned at the same time. Her physique might trick you into thinking of her as frail. Don't let that line of thinking deceive you. Within her frail disguise hides a detailed description of her muscles, clear and disturbingly perfect in shape. She must have trained herself and gone through hell to achieve the body she takes command of. Don't let that She performed a twirl, continues into a wave as she smiles at him on his way out to the theatre. He waved at her back with a big grin on his face. This was his first interaction with another person outside of his guardians. Fascinating, he thought to himself. How wonderful the scenery is. To think that such a world exists outside of the confines of that room, it expanded his horizons. Even though this place was painted with the warmest and brightest of colours, lined with gold and all the riches in the world, it felt rather pretentious in its appearance. Many large hollow circular patterns are found on the ceiling. They were brown on the inside and white from the outside. The further they got away from the stage, the darker it got. Maintaining both his optimism and anxiety-ridden imagination, Mallory continues his approach towards the two wooden doors at the very back of the theatre. The door bursts open. His eyes were anticipating the blinding lights that would throw off his eyesight on contact. Rather than that, his eyes were fine. There was no light. He looked up to the sky and there was no sign of the sun. No trace of it, or even proof of its existence. No light rays piercing the clouds. It makes observers such as him wonder how can the world be illuminated by such thick clouds. Kai, from the side view, realizing Mallory's disappointment, addresses his concerns. The sun is present, don't worry, said Kai. Maintaining his eye level at the sky, Mallory participates in the conversation. You picked a cloudy day, perhaps, said Mallory. It's always cloudy here. The sun was never seen for as long as the people of Arusa could remember, said Kai. Did Mother do this? Said Mallory, meeting Kai's eyes. Your mother has no such power. It was not to be blamed either. If anything, your mother was a byproduct of the disappearance of the sun, said Kai. How come you never gave me books about the history of this place? Said Mallory. There are better parts of history to be remembered than this, especially for you. The things you were given at first were important, anything else comes second. Their chatter comes to a close as Mallory loses interest in continuing, not due to the subject matter, but rather to what he sees before him. He has imagined this world through multiple books. They imagined it as a treacherous, filled with bloodshed, anger and hatred, littered with craters and the dead. Some say it was beautiful, filled with smiles and flowers, children of all ages running around and playing with their toys. But for Mallory, the only words he could use to describe such a place was stitched and desaturated. Certain buildings looked out of place, ripped apart from different points in time, some Victorian in architecture, some built from mud, while others were bricked in their foundation. Even in their difference, they maintained the same height and shape, never crossing the line of what is permitted to them. He noticed not only that, but he also notices that the clothes of the people walking around. There were those whom wore coats, those whom wore button-up shirts, those whom wore tops that seemed to be hacksawed at the stomach region, a mismatch of everything that nothing looked like it was planned. In contrast to the stage, the colours of the landscape were muted, no greenery seen in sight. Not only that, but there was not a single sound either. No one spoke to one another, even though the streets were busy. No whisper, no breath escaped. The air, though suspicious in appearance, was breathable. Words weren't spoken, no matter how the people looked. They looked like they came in pairs, but none of them spoke to one another. The longer that they spent outside, the clearer Mallory could hear a voice that lent itself as ambience to the god-awful silence. Mallory would rather hear the silence rather than that voice. Repeating, never stuttering, never breaking in union, the words never ended. Silence the voice of which is not for worship. Silence the voice of which is not for prayer. God's demis and the inhabitants of the city, pray, pray for the return of our mercy. The sound, low in volume as it may be, Mallory could not help but feel it pierce his ears. The longer he listened, the louder it got. Hands pressed against his ears, he tried to mute the voice as much as he can. Regardless, like water through the crevices of the fingers that slip through, he hears it forcing him to submit to the words they preach. Resistance was futile. Nothing could ever silence those words. They are not repeating, never stuttering, never breaking in union. The words never end. Forever they are calling, forever they are calling, forever they are haunting. There we go. That is the end of our chapter, and also, I think, is that the end of everything for today? I think that's the end of today. Let me check. Let's see. Yes. Trading a cursed taboo item for books. Now, wherein is he saying I want Earl Grey poetry? I might tend to that. I'm playing Rust. Hopefully, it doesn't ruin the fun. Oh yes, Rust. How appropriate. How appropriate for us to play Rust. I think, with everything in mind, we are done for the day in terms of our reading and our poetry. Seems like today is all of it. Let me check. I am scrolling past this. Give me a second. Pew. Yes, that's it. All right. That is that's the story for today. That's it. So I've got nothing more. The poems are done and this is done. So we'll continue the book hopefully next week on Friday. Yeah, ending too soon. It's been an hour. What do you mean? It's been an hour and 6 minutes. It wasn't too soon. It was an appropriate time, if I do have to say so myself. It's quite appropriate. Thank you for the stream. Oh, don't leave just yet, Kaiko. I still have my closing words. Every Friday, I have special closing words, specifically for Friday. Oh, before I do say my closing words though, Kaiko, I was gonna do something for you for your Sea Shanty Week, but I didn't do it well. I was going to do the Wellerman, but the problem was I was trying to mix it and I was trying to do it and I didn't know how to do a cappella on my own or harmonize with my own voice, so I ended up really scratching the whole project.
I'll try my best to find a sea shanty I can sing properly for you. It felt like too soon, but it was super nice. This has been wonderful. Oh, thank you. You have been wonderful. I hope you felt relaxed. But yeah. Well, anyway, chat, thank you very much for attending my poetry stream. As always, it really makes me happy to see you guys all here. And please do remember, it's a Friday. If you have homework to do, do them, but do try to keep in mind that you have to take some rest. Please take some rest. Oh god, yeah, I tried that and it was too hard for me to edit too. Yeah, it's quite hard. But chat, remember please, it's a Friday. Have some rest. I know college could be stressful, high school could be stressful, maybe a lot of things are going on in your life, but please take some rest. Reach out to a friend, talk to people, just relax, please. Have a cup of tea, sleep well. I hope everyone's sleeping well. I really do. And I want you all to know that I am very proud of all of you. I really am proud of everyone. Thank you for all of your hard work, everyone. Thank you for every test that you've done, all the homework that you've submitted. You all amaze me, and I'm genuinely proud of everything that you guys have achieved so far in your life, and I wait with absolute excitement what you will be able to do in the next couple of days going forward. So make me proud, chat. You guys always make me proud, but please stay safe, everyone. Eat well, stay hydrated. My name has been Fumiyo, and genuinely it's been my pleasure to be allowed to comfort you on a Friday at this hour. I hope everyone's been well rested and has been comfortable. Thank you for trying, I really appreciate it. Oh, you're welcome, Kaiko. You're welcome. I'll try to do something for you. Thank you. My name has been Fumiyo. Thank you for allowing me to be your streamer, allowing me to be your friend, and most of all, allowing me to share this Friday with you. Thank you. See you guys on Monday. I will be having a collab on Monday, hopefully, with one of my friends, Ray. But it will be Tuesday for me. It'll be a Monday for him. We'll be playing some Apex. I'll release a schedule later on, but I won't be streaming for the next 2 days. It is my day off. Anyway, thank you all. Take care, be safe, stay hydrated, wear your seatbelt. I love you. Bye. Bye, 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 bye. Bye, everyone. Bye.